Shalom, shalom. Call halal yamla, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, KAKWADASH. The bottoms to the elders and apostles of great most my teaching rule well. Peace and salutations be to the hopeful elect. I'm Brother Tazawam, coming at you from the prophets of Babylon camp here in Tampa, Florida. So this is going to be a quick in transit, going into a time of tribulation like never before for our people. Okay? Which means that our people, Israel, which are you so-called Native Americans, Latinos, and Negroes, are about to be in trouble like never before. Alright? This devil's coming down on you having great wrath. He's coming for you, Jakes. Like, you are the ultimate target. He really wants to target you. Yeah, he's going to bring this new world order to change the world for everybody, but he's doing this for your sakes, okay, so that you don't come back into rulership. All right. Because the greatest threat to the throne is the rightful heirs, which is who? You so-called Native Americans, Latinos, and Negroes, the true Jews, the true Israelites. Okay, which Jew is just short for Judah. It's only one tribe. You got 12 tribes in total. Somebody's lying, and it ain't the scriptures. So let's get into it. In the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 21, in the NLT, it says, "For there will be greater anguish than at any time since the world began, and it will never be so great again." Let's grab the definition of the word anguish to know what it says. Oh man, anguish says severe mental or physical pain or suffering. It says be extremely distressed about something. Alright? So to be extremely distressed or to cause great physical or mental pain and suffering. That's what this world is coming, which is going to be all of those put together. Extreme distress and also great mental and physical suffering, all together into one in the time that we're coming into. It says feeling anguish means experiencing an intense and deep form of mental and physical suffering characterized by extreme distress, torment, and inner pain. It's an overwhelming emotion often triggered by overwhelming life challenges, trauma, or profound loss. You're going to experience all these things. You're going to experience profound loss. You're going to lose a lot of things, man. You're going to lose a lot of things in the time we're coming into. Family, friends, possessions. Okay? Even their own good hearts, so-called. Okay? Even their own goodwill. Even their love, they're going to lose it all. It says often triggered by overwhelming life challenges, which Jacob's trouble is going to be a very overwhelming challenge for you. A life challenge, trauma, or profound loss. You're going to see many people die in front of you. It's going to cause much trauma. Okay? These people are going to be in a constant state of anxiety, of severe anxiety. All right? Heart gonna be pounding all the time. It says making a person feel hopeless and unable to cope with their difficult circumstances, and that's gonna result in them seeking out the man of the Lord, the prophets of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, who is still gonna be in that calm state, because we're gonna have complete and utter trust and faith in the Lord, YAHAWASHI, you know, just like we've always had. We'll willingly be those men. Okay? It says, what did I say? We go back to the scripture. It says, "For there will be greater anguish than at any time since the world began, and it will never be so great again." In the NIV, it says, "For then there will be great distress, unequaled from the beginning of the world until now, and never to be equaled again." So this is a time period in the earth where things are going to get so bad that 444 calling label Shemil Shai mercy. You know the Lord gonna show us men mercy. We ain't got nothing to worry about. But you niggas that want to live your life up, you either cry now, laugh later, or laugh now, cry later. Okay, you choose which one you want to do. All right, the scriptures say it's better to be in the house of mourning than the house of laughter. Roughly paraphrasing. And right now, the Lord's servants are in the house of mourning. That means in the time to come of great distress and trauma, we're going to be in the time of laughter. All right? This lesson is inspired by this vision I woke up from this morning of being in Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble kicking off like the beginning of it. And what they were doing was taking over the country with martial law. All right? It was one by one, these states were getting taken over with the military. And we had to flee from city to city. All right? A few brothers that banded together would flee together from city to city, escaping the takeover of that city for the time being. All right, or escaping the troops. And when they took over that city, when that city was completely taken over, they started distributing the chip in that city. Okay, so brothers was on a constant move from these troops, and the troops was tracking us down, chasing us down, trying to catch us particularly. They had FEMA camps where Jake was in there serving food. All right, that was the only way of getting food, is going to the FEMA camps as well. All these grocery stores and shit was shut down. There was no grocery shopping. All that shit was shut down. It was military state, man. It was martial law, draconian laws and measures. You couldn't do nothing without the military. You had to go to them for everything. All right. That says GNT, Matthew 24 and 21. There will be a lot of misery at that time. A kind of misery that has not happened from the beginning of the world until now, and will certainly never happen again. There's great misery coming. Okay? The description is, let me grab the description in 2nd Ezra's. I believe it's thirst. The book of 2nd Ezra chapter 8 and verse 59, for as the things aforesaid shall receive you, so thirst and pain. It says, so thirst and pain are prepared for them, for it was not his will that men should come to naught. So the Lord said thirst and pain are prepared for you. Okay? Your ass gonna be starving, and you're gonna be in pain. You're gonna be hurt, and you're gonna be sick. Okay, it ain't gonna be nobody to tend to your wounds, nobody to tend to your hunger, to tend to your emotional wreck. Okay, you're gonna look for somebody to comfort you. Ain't gonna be nobody there. This is the book of that's not it. Okay, I believe it's misery. Alright, so 2nd Ezra chapter 8 and verse 2nd Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. So many great miseries. Great miseries. What's a misery? Let's go grab the definition of miseries. Misery, a state or feeling of great distress or discomfort of mind or body. Okay? This is prophesied to happen, man. Many times in the scriptures, the Lord telling you there's a lot of misery coming towards you, man. Okay? A lot of suffering, a lot of sorrow. Alright? Because you didn't trust in the Lord. You didn't want to follow after the Lord's ways. You didn't want to listen to his prophets. which is the Lord speaking through his prophets. All right. Now here it is. They're coming to a time where these devils are going to take over. They really going to take over and push out ultimate control, and they're going to distribute the chip. Yeah, man. In the vision I woke up from, and during this martial law, as I was traveling, and I was looking for one of my brothers to find him and rescue him from the troops. Okay, so I would have to go and spy out these FEMA camps that Jake was in. When I would go in there, I would see they had like long food lines, and it was nothing but Jake serving the food, and the people would come in and get the food for free. All right, and that was how they were getting their food. It was served at certain times, and the best time for me to sneak in was when they were serving the food. All right, but there were troops everywhere. Okay, everywhere there was National Guard or Gurga troops or whatever they were. It was just, you can tell they were from the military. All right, they were militant, and they were everywhere in the city and in these FEMA camps. You had to be very careful walking about. All right, because they was questioning everybody, IDing everybody, checking everybody, making sure nothing gets underneath their nose. So it was a time of very great caution for the men of the Lord. But in these FEMA camps were rumors going around. As I was spying out these camps looking for my brother, I was hearing the rumors that they were starting to chip people. People were getting chipped in these different camps. And it was like as soon as they secure a city, they would start mandating that chip. Like those people that want the food in those camps now, they got, in order for them to get the food, they got to present those chips. All right, and this was a transition. This was them transitioning into the New World Order. It was like a huge transition, but Trump used martial law to do it. All right, I remember asking, damn, am I in Chicago? I was like, no, but Chicago was one of the places where they took over too, where the troops have been sent out. You know, 2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse 9. Then shall they be in pitiful case which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments, because you haven't known the trust, that faith and love of the Lord, YAHAWASHI. You're gonna have to die without it, man. Okay. So you're gonna dwell in torments. All right, let's grab the definition of torment. Torment says severe physical or mental suffering. So look, the scripture is telling you that you're going to suffer severe mental and physical suffering and distress. All right, you're going to go through a very rough time, okay? And we've grabbed that now in many different scriptures already, okay? That just goes to show you that the Lord is emphasizing that this time of trouble for you Israelites is going to be very rough. Matter of fact, we'll grab that. In the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30 and verse 7. Just to show that it's really for you Jakes. It says in the NLT, Jeremiah 30 and 7, in all history there has never been such a time of terror. It will be a time of trouble for my people Israel, yet in the end they will be saved. That goes to show you also that this is going to happen at the end of the world, okay, which is on our heels right now, because it says, yet in the end they will be saved. So in the end, the Lord going to rescue us. The Lord going to have to rescue us from these devil's hands. All right, as the scripture say here, let's grab it. In the book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 22, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Okay, nobody gonna be saved if these days don't get shortened, if the Lord don't stand up and save us. All right. NLT says, in fact, unless that time of calamity is shortened, not a single person will survive. but it will be shortened for the sake of Yahawa's chosen ones. All right, which I believe is going to go a certain way to where Esau is going to try to push out the ultimate control, and the Lord is going to send those spirits out into the earth, the spirits of destruction, and Esau is going to lose control of that order out of chaos. He's trying to bring order out of chaos, but he's going to lose control over that chaos, and pestilence is going to break out, famine going to break out, people going to break out killing each other, the sword going to break out, everything going to fall. All of his plans are going to collapse, and everything's going to become disastrous for this country, man. All right. It says, but it will be shortened for the sake of Yahawa's chosen ones, because that elect must be saved. That's how the story is written. So it's going to have to be the time of tribulation is going to have to go by quickly. I wouldn't say quickly, but rather yeah, I mean, I guess you could say quickly. It won't take as long as it's gonna feel. All right, that suffering gonna feel like it's taking forever, but the Lord's gonna shorten those days so that suffering don't last so long. If it were to last so long, then nobody's gonna live through it. All right, not even the Lord's elect. Okay, but it has to be shortened so his elect can be delivered. It's going to be such a time of terrible trouble and riskiness and perils, and it's going to be a hard time to survive, man. You're going to have to really have the Lord with you in order to live through these things. Okay, you're going to really have to be blessed to survive through these things, man. All right, but this is Jacob's trouble we're talking about. Okay, you want to be protected from these times? Trust in the Lord. Believe in him, and you're going to be delivered from these tribulations, man. That was another scripture I wanted to grab, but I think I lost it. It's all right. I believe we really hit the point anyways. All right, so we're going to close out by giving all glory, honor, praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, HAKADASH. Truly it was us most edifying to you, Akim Nagwath. Listen in truth and sincerity. So next time, Shalom.